All right, guys, today we are on lesson 10. Lesson 10 is on 1.c.43. 1.c.43 should look like this. Lesson 10, problem set up at the top. And then the question should look like this. I don't think the video will take us very long today. There aren't that many questions, so we should knock this out quicker than usual. All right, so here we go. More multiplication. If you've noticed, our multiplication is getting a little bit harder every day, but it's also getting easier. And what I mean by that is they're trying to give us some easier ways to solve multiplication in our head, especially when we get into like big multiplication equations. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's take a look here. Number one. So number one, at the very top, it says 7 times 3 equals, it's the same thing. So 7 times 3 is the same thing as 5 times 3 plus 2 times 3. The reason is because 2 plus 5 equals 7. So if we just break that up a little bit and we do two separate math equations, multiplication equations, then we'll get the same answer, okay? So let's take a look at number one here. Number one says 5 times 3. So if we count by 5 3 times, that's 15. And then 2 times 3, if we count by 3 2 times, that's 6. I know that's at the very top. Hopefully you guys can see that. All right, so 15 plus 6 equals 21. And let's see if that's the same answer as we get when we do 7 times 3. If we count by 3 7 times or 7 3 times, let's go ahead and count by 7 3 times. So 7 plus 7 equals 14. 1 more equals 21. So 7 times 3 equals 21. And we also got the same answer whenever we did 15 plus 6. When we broke up this multiplication problem into two separate ones, we got 15 plus 6 equals 21. I know that was kind of like difficult. We're gonna break that up again, and it'll make more sense. All right, so they're showing us that in squares on this one. Okay. So first we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of 3. That's why it says 5 times 3. And they already solved that answer for us. It says 15. Okay. And then they added 2 more rows of 3. So 3, 3. That's why it says 2 times 3. So we know 2 times 3 is the same as counting by 3 2 times. So 3 plus 3 equals 6. Okay. And it's the same thing we did up here at the top. So they broke it in half. So 15 plus 6 equals 21. All right. So down here at the bottom, 5 times 3 plus 2 times 3 is the same thing as 15 plus 6, like we just did here, right? Because 5 times 3 equals 15, and 2 times 3 equals 6. So writing it a different way in an addition sentence, 15 plus 6 equals, same thing we did here, 15 plus 6 equals 21. All right, you might be thinking to yourself like, whoa, I don't know what's happening here. We're going to do it again over here, and hopefully it'll make a little bit more sense. All right, so for now, let's skip the top part because I think that's the most confusing, and we'll go in reverse order, okay? All right, so we have to do a little bit more work over here. So then it wants us to fill in the blank. So blank times 3 equals blank. All right. So we have some rows. So how many rows do we have? Well, we have 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 rows. So I'm going to put a 4 in the blank. And they already did the next part for us because we have 3 in each. So 4 times 3. 4 times 3 is the same thing as 4 plus 4 plus 4, or it's the same thing as counting by 3 4 times. Let's go ahead and count by 4 3 times, all right? So 4 plus 4 equals 8, and then 4 more equals 12. So 4 times 3 equals 12. All right, and then we have some more down here, all right? We have some more of those shapes. So let's see how many we have here. We have 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 rows of 3, same as up above. So 4 times 3 equals 12. All right, so let's go ahead and jump down here to the bottom. 4 times 3 plus 4 times 3 equals blank plus blank. So what do they mean by that? What is 4 times 3 plus 4 times 3 equal blank plus blank? Well, what they want us to do is solve 4 times 3, which we already did. 4 times 3 equals 12. And then the other one, 4 plus 3, it's the same exact multiplication sentence. So obviously we have to have the same answer. Equals 12, right? So now they're going to want us to know or figure out what is the total answer. So let's jump back up to the top real quick before we go any further. All right, let's head back up to the top here that we skipped. So 8 times 3 equals blank. Well, basically what we're doing here is 8 times 3, because if we look at all these shapes together, we do have 8 rows. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's why up here at the top it says 8 times 3, because in each row we have 3. But they broke it down for us a little bit. They put it in 2 groups. 8 times 3 is the same thing as 4 times 3 plus 4 times 3. So we just did that twice, right? 4 times 3 and 4 times 3. We did that twice. And each time you get 12. Okay? So 12 plus 12, 12 plus 12, if you can do that in your head, 12 plus 12 equals 24. And guess what? The answer for 8 times 3 also equals 24. So if you count by 8 3 times, you go 8 plus 8 equals 16, and then you go 16 plus another 8, which is 24. You get the same answer, all right? So let's jump all the way back down here to the bottom now, and you can't see it on my screen, or on your screen, so I'm going to raise it up a little bit. Blank times 3 equals blank. So now what they want us to do is take these two and add them together. So they want us to say the total number of shapes is 8 times 3, which we just figured out up at the very top. We count by 8 3 times or 3 8 times, whichever way you want to do it. And that equals 24. You can always check your answer by counting the shapes or the pictures to make sure you're right. All right, let's go into the next page. I know this is a little more complicated than some of our other questions, so if you're confused, I'm going to do my best to help clarify this for you. Okay, so we're on number 3. It says Ruby makes a photo album. One page is shown below. Ruby puts 3 photos in each row. Fill in the equation on the right to use them to help draw the arrays that show the photos on top and bottom parts of the page. All right, so let's look at the equations first, okay? Blank times 3 equals 6. So we have to count by 3 how many times to get to 6. Well, let's find out. Let's just start counting by 3s, and we'll stop when we get to 6. All right, so 3, that's only 1 time, and that's obviously not 6. 3 plus 3, we're counting by 2 times now. 3 plus 3 does equal 6. So we just counted by 3 2 times. So let's go ahead and write. Oh, I need to get my marker up here. Let's go ahead and write 2 right here. Okay. Let's do the same thing down here at the bottom. It says blank times 3 equals 9. So what times 3 equals 9? So let's count by 3s and stop when we get to 9. So 3 plus 3 equals 6. And then 6 plus 3 equals 9. We just counted by 3 3 times, and we stopped when we got to 9. So we're going to write 3 here. All right, so what we need to do is now we have to draw an array. All right, we need to draw an array to show her photo album. So they want us to show how many pictures are arranged here. So we're going to use an X, and we're going to have 2 rows of 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that shows the multiplication equation 2 times 3. And if you notice, we have a total of 6 x's. And on this one, we're going to have 3 rows of 3. All right, so 3 rows of 3, because our multiplication equation shows 3 rows of 3. And we said it was 9, and sure enough, we wrote 9 x's. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the last one here. Ruby calculates the total number of photos as shown below. Use the array you drew to help explain Ruby's calculation. So I'm not going to write it out here. I'm going to let you guys do that. But this is what she wrote in her math sentence. She said 5 times 3 equals 6 plus 9 equals 15. All right. So do all these things equal each other? Let's look. All right, so when she looks at her total photo album, she had 5 rows, and each row had 3 pictures. That's what we just drew up at the top, okay? And you do 5 times 3, and that's going to give you 15. Because we count by 5s 3 times, that equals 15. She also said 6 plus 9 equals 15. The reason she said 6 plus 9 is because up at the very top, if you remember, we had 2 times 3, and we said that equaled 6. And then her next part of the page, she had 3 rows, so we said 3 times 3 equals 9. So what she's saying is 6 plus 9 also equals 15. So what she's basically saying is, if you write the math equation 5 times 3 equals 15, that's the same thing as saying 6 plus 9 equals 15. All right? So you don't have to write a lot here. Just go ahead and explain maybe in one sentence why that makes sense, or why is her calculation correct. All right, so like I said, today's page might have been a little harder. Not that the math was that much harder, but it's just the fact that we're doing it in a different way than we had before. So today's homework assignment should say Lesson 10 homework, and this is what the very first part looks like. The page number that you'll be working with today is 1.C.46 and 47, looks like that. And as always, send me any questions that you might have, and I will do my best to help. All right, great job today, guys. Multiplication is not easy, so you guys are doing a great job. I'm always impressed whenever I'm talking to you guys, and you already are starting to catch on and knowing your multiplication facts. So keep it up.